everyone, and welcome back to the Syntax Sorcerer. Today, we are going to be going over nested if statements in C#. So, what are nested if statements? They're used to create conditional logic structures that where one if statement is contained within another if statement, so nested inside of another if statement. This basically allows for more complex conditions to be evaluated based on multiple criteria. So we're just going to write that out. Nested if statements are used to create conditional logic structures inside of one if statement. So we'll go over exactly how nested if statements work, and then we're going to add some stuff to it just to make it like kind of more interesting. So we're going to start with something very simple. We're going to start with our variables, right? We always start with our variables. So let's make it int age equals 25, right? Let's say the person's 25 years of age. We'll say bool is student, and then equals true. Okay, so we're going to say, is this person a student? We're going to set that Boolean to true. Boolean means true or false. Boolean is either 1 or 0. True or false. Can never be anything else. So it's a Boolean statement. Some of you might be familiar with these. Some of you might not. That's all Booleans are. So we're going to start off main nested if. We're going to go with, let's see, if age is greater than or equal to 18, then we'll do console.writeLine, and then we will say you are an adult. Bam. That's good to know. Good to know if you're an adult. Now, here's where the nested if statement comes in. If, and you can see that it's already auto-filling it out for me, is student. I prefer mine down here. Then we'll do console.writeLine, and we'll say, and you are a student. All right, okay. But if they are something else, this is if else with nested if statements, console.writeLine, and we'll say else, but you are not a student, right? Some of you are thinking, well, what if they're not 18? Don't worry, because that comes right here after this if statement. We're going to say else, and then we're going to say console. Let me scroll this down for you guys. .writeLine, and we'll say you are not an adult. Bam, right? So that's a very simple. Let's step through the code here. So when we start, we're telling that it's the age 25. So we're setting the integer of age to 25. The Boolean of is student true to true, because we can change that to negative later. Let's see. Next up, we have if age is greater than or equal to 18, then it's going to step through this. You are an adult, because that's true. Because if they are 16, it would go down here because this statement is not true. It would skip down to else, you are not an adult. So because it is going to be true in this instance, because we set the age to 25, it's going to go, you are an adult. And if is student, which is also already set to true, you are a student. Yay! Which we can gather later. And then this is the same one. You are not a student if it's set to false. So let's go ahead, Control S to save real quick. Let's run that. Oh, every time. I'm never gonna learn, guys. Don't ever expect me to learn. Don't ever expect me to learn, okay? I'm never gonna learn. Look at that. You are an adult. You are a student. All right. So we'll change this to 16, and we'll say false on here. But that's not gonna do much. But we're gonna save that, change it, right? We're gonna say you are not an adult. Now it doesn't say anything else because it doesn't go through. But if we change this back to 25, hit save, run again, you are an adult, but you are not a student. All right, so now let's have a little bit of fun with it. Let's just comment this out. We're just going to go get this from the person instead. So we're going to say console.writeLine, and we'll say, oops, no, why you no like me? Please enter your age. Right, and make sure we give it that space. That space is always important. The one right there that my computer doesn't seem to want to highlight, excuse me. And then we're going to say int age equals converty dot to int 32. You see how it's auto-filling this for me? Just try to write this out your first times if you're not used to it. But yes, that is correct. So now we're going to hit Control S. And now it's going to say, please enter your age. 18. You are an adult, but you are not a student because, again, we set it over here, let's see, to false. So it's still set to false. All right. But when we're looking over here, you are an adult because it is equal to the age of 18, greater than or equal to. So that's pretty simple. That's a nested if statement. Super, super duper easy. All right. So some of you might still be a little confused. So let's kind of go over nested if statements. So imagine you have a big box of toys. So you're going to ask, the nested if statements are like asking questions about these toys. So let's say you have a box of colored blocks in your toy box. Right? You're going to say, are there, oops, let's undo that. Are there any blocks in the box? Right? And then because it's true, it's going to say, or it could be false, but in this case we're just going to say it's true. Are there any blue blocks in the box? Right? And then you could go on even further. Are there any big blue blocks in the box? Jesus, my brain's getting, that's a tongue twister right there. Try to say that 100 times fast. You won't. All right. And then you could say, if not, is it a small blue box? Okay, so super easy. So you're asking questions about the toys, and based on the answers, you might ask for more questions to learn more about them. Each question helps you understand something specific about the toys, just like each if statement helps the computer understand something specific about the situation that it's dealing with. I hope that makes sense for you guys. We're going to keep this video short. I'm trying to do them in smaller contents because I've been doing them in 20 minutes. But if that helped you guys, please make sure you like, subscribe. If there's anything you guys do want to learn, make sure you let me know. I'd really love to hear some feedback. Thank you guys so much.